I think this is a really interesting moment for the Australian housing market. We're coming off a pretty difficult year in 2022, substantial price declines, very weak turnover into the close, and obviously that sequence of very large interest rate rises. We've seen a little bit of optimism creep in over the Christmas New Year period. I think the break has served most people well, and I think a lot of people have been looking to maybe anticipate the peak in the tightening cycle and maybe looking for opportunities. Unfortunately, that's really copped quite a negative with the RBA's first decision this year in February, raising rates by a further quarter percentage point and indicating that we clearly have more rate rises to come. So a bit of a dose of cold water just prior to the reopening of the market. I think it'll be a real test in February to see how things wash up, but unfortunately it looks like that soft finish we saw last year is going to continue into the new year, and there are some signs of an overhang of stock emerging in some markets like Sydney and Melbourne. It looks like another challenging year this year. There are some positives starting to emerge. We're definitely most of the way through this interest rate tightening cycle. We're trying to pick out the peak of the cycle now, and we know we're getting close. Beyond that, there are some very positive signs also emerging around population-driven demand. It looks like our net migration inflow has been very strong. That's often a precursor for the next cycle in housing markets in terms of which markets may lead or lag. But for now, interest rates are still the dominant issue for housing, and it won't be until we get clear visibility that the rate tightening cycle's over, and we may even move into rate cuts maybe next year, that the market's really going to look a lot better, and there's some risk around that. The inflation side of things is still very threatening. The RBA could go further than the additional 2 rate hikes we're currently expecting, so we're going to have to watch that very closely.